Hello, this is Tom and Chris, those film guys, and welcome to the last stretch in the Batmarathon, where we delve into Christopher Nolan's reboot, starting with Batman Begins. Now this is a very, very, very new take on Batman. You can see that from the first frame. This isn't the same. This is an entirely different style, different idea of Batman, and it's a more realistic, more gritty Batman film. And my first thoughts are two thumbs way up. I love Batman Begins.
I do too. This was the game changer, especially after the 8-year lapse between Batman and Robin and this. This raised Batman from the dead. This was a dead franchise completely. Just everyone laughed when you mentioned Batman.
Yeah. This
changed everything. It brought it more to the realistic, believable. Yeah. Just a feat that could never have been achieved.
For the first time, we actually get a fully fledged, in-depth psychological breakdown of Bruce Wayne Batman, which we have not had in previous live-action films. I mean, you had Mask of the Phantasm, but you don't have that in the live-action films, or you never had that in the live-action films. Here, it's fresh, it's new, and it's exciting. And what else can you say apart from that?
Well, it was the first time to ever bring the origin story of Batman to the screen, because all the other times it just usually dived into Batman straight away and only had fleeting flashbacks. This time we get it from the very beginning as a kid, through his teen years, what he does when he leaves Gotham, and then obviously coming back. And really, Batman isn't in this film a whole lot. The main focus in this film is to get the audience connected and to care about Bruce Wayne as a character, and that's why, in my opinion, I prefer this to The Dark Knight, in that it's a character study on Bruce Wayne and shows his true emotions and how he came to be Batman.
Yeah, and the whole origin, I mean, in other superhero films you get origins that are just there to sort of set up the superpowers. Here, there is actually ties. It ties it all together with Bruce's motivations, or his want for revenge for the death of his parents. When the guy he wants to kill, who killed his parents, dies, he decides this isn't, what am I doing? Like that sort of, what am I doing? I don't want someone else's parents getting killed in the same way, so I'm going to root out the corruption in the city. And it all nice. It's very perfectly interwoven. The origins mix with the Batman stuff, and it all works. It all works. I'd say the whole origin works throughout, and it's played throughout the film, and especially with Ra's al Ghul, the sort of father-son relationship that him and Bruce Wayne have, that sort of plays up with the origins as well.
That is my favourite part of the film, I have to say, where Bruce is training with the League of Shadows, and he's very much this student figure against Ra's al Ghul's mentor persona, and I like that portrayal of a more ninja-type Batman.
Yeah. Because
it really plays into the whole ability that, his fighting prowess and his stealth skills.
Yeah.
It all works in that it all ties together and is believable, and so much thought went into making this character a real character.
And that's what Nolan does very, very well. Makes believable characters. I mean, the relation, and there's clear relationships there, like the father-son motif with Ra's and Bruce Wayne, but Bruce doesn't, like, there's the scene where he is told to basically decapitate someone, and he says, "Well, this isn't justice. I'm not going to kill, because that's what separates us from the bad guys." But Raz says, "No. Well, you should do whatever it takes to fight out corruption. You shouldn't hand out mercy, because they won't give it to you." And I mean, that's a philosophy that could potentially be seen as agreed with, but that's an extreme. Whereas Bruce is the other side of it, and the sort of their relationship breaks down when he says, "No, I'm not going to kill this man."
I really do like that parallel between those two characters, because that sets up their whole relationship with each other, in that they're so very similar in what they want to achieve, but it's how they achieve it. And I like how Bruce Wayne stays true and creates this persona of Batman and sticks to the goal of not killing. He refuses to go to the same level that the criminals are. This is obviously brought up again as a theme in the Dark Knight more, but here, as an origin, it just works. And I found this quote yesterday on David Goyer, the writer. He said, "If we can get the audience to care about Bruce Wayne and not even care or not if he's in the costume, then we've probably rehabilitated the franchise." And I think that stays testament to this film's success.
It's a good 45, 50 minutes before Bruce actually puts on the Batsuit, or close to an hour. I mean, that's a long time for a superhero film to not show the hero in the costume, but it all works because you've got a fleshed out character, and you've got sympathy towards him, and you've got backstory.
But here, for the character of Batman, it works. We need an origin where we get to sympathise with the character. Now, if I had a small gripe with the backstory of Bruce Wayne, I didn't really 100% buy the relationship as a kid he had with his parents. That they just seemed a bit distant towards him. I mean, obviously you still feel sad and feel bad.
I think it felt his dad was closer to him than his mother.
Yeah, because I don't think his mother says like a line in this film. I think she maybe screams, obviously, in the infamous part where his parents get shot, but other than that, she never has any dialogue with him, and that's just one flaw I have with the backstory. But you know what, it doesn't hurt the film at all. I would have just liked to have seen a closer relationship with his parents.
I think the whole, because there are lines that are echoed throughout the film, and one of the lines is that Alfred repeats, "Why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves up." And that's a great motif for the entire film, because there are moments where Bruce literally questions why he's doing it. He doesn't think, like, there's that thing in where he burns down his house, where he feels he's ruined everything his parents stood for, and he doesn't believe in himself. But then Alfred echoes the line his father said, and that's another great sort of relationship that Nolan has pushed in there. It's very subtle, but you can if you can really see the development, even though it is very subtly done, but it's very nice and works.
And yeah, I love the relationship between Bruce Wayne and Alfred. I mean, that's echoed all the way from when he's a kid. Like, as soon as his parents are killed and he's gazing out the window, and Alfred comes in and like asks if he wants any breakfast, and I think they repeat that line in the Dark Knight as well.
That scene plays out sort of similar to the one in the Dark Knight, but yeah, that is a nice scene. You know, this actually physically looking at the detail, stopping and looking at the detail. It's actually the thematic material is there, plain to see, something that was severely lacking in Tim Burton's Batman and the Batmans throughout the live action Batmans.
It's interesting to see because this film, it does raise, well, obviously takes them to a whole nother level, doesn't even compare, but it does raise some of the questions that were raised in Batman Forever, with the whole falling down the pit and, you know, seeing the bats and questioning what it is to be Batman. But this is done right, and it's done so right, in fact, that this is probably one of my favourite it's definitely like my second favourite Batman film or something. It was just done so right. The focus on the characters, and I think this is again why I prefer it to The Dark Knight, is that the city looked like Gotham, which I felt was kind of lacking in the sequel. It felt, the Narrows is dark, it's dirty, you sense the desperation, and there's just so much that works in this film.
We've got to talk about a new actor to play Bruce Wayne and Batman. Christian Bale gets Bruce Wayne right. Michael Keaton, to me, he did not have Bruce Wayne at all. He wasn't arrogant, he wasn't cocky, he wasn't this sort of outgoing or this persona. There was two parallels. There was Bruce Wayne and there was Batman, clear to see. And Christian Bale, you know, I have severe Christian Bale bias myself, because I think he's probably this is, well, you can argue this, but in my opinion, I think he's a very talented actor, and what some of his earlier films, you can really see that, and he gets Bruce Wayne's persona right, and I really like him in Batman Begins.
No, I don't think I'm a huge Christian Bale fan as you are, but I will agree that as Bruce Wayne, he is perfect for the role. He really embodies the facade that we were talking about that was lacking in the other ones, where he puts on this show of this billionaire playboy. However, as Batman, in this film, I thought he was quite good as Batman. The voice was not as bad as it gets in The Dark Knight, and you know, I did think as Batman he was pretty good, but as the films have gone on, that voice, it's just that kills it for me. I still prefer Keaton as a Batman, or certainly Kevin Conroy, than Christian Bale, but I will agree, as Bruce Wayne, he did do a very good job.
Well, I'm under the impression that I don't think the voice should matter if the story is good. That's my opinion, and the story was fantastic. So on to we're now we've done Batman. Now we're villains. Ra's al Ghul.